I needed to, Derek, Jim Matson.
Yep, see ya.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay, anybody else? I think we're good at this point. I got you, Scott. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Coach, let him get started, and then after his statement, we'll go to your questions.
Man, I wish I could tell you guys what Derek and I were just talking about, but I can't. I'm telling you, that was some good stuff we were just talking about. You'll find out later, but I can't tell you now. That's really fun to be able to talk about stuff and know that I can't tell you guys anything. Really kind of brings a little light to my day, a little humor. Couple sleepless nights. Obviously not a very good performance against Maryland, and that's frustrating. We've obviously had a very interesting week with the cancellation of the Nebraska game or postponement. Let me say that correctly, not cancellation. And threw a little bit of a wrinkle into this week, but adaptability is the key word. We've obviously got some schools in our conference now that are testing positive, and that's going to be flexibility is going to be something, and adaptability something that we're all going to have to identify with. So we took Monday off, which was probably a good thing. With helped DeMonte get a little closer to 100%, and obviously Trent getting hurt in the Maryland game. So that was beneficial. We practiced Tuesday. We came back and took Wednesday off, and did some then started in on Thursday with prep for a very, very good Ohio State team. Ohio State played last night, obviously beat Northwestern. As usual, a team that is extremely physical. They're what they lack in size, they make up with in strength and toughness. This is a team that last year got 42% of their misses back in our game in Columbus. We put them on the foul line a great deal last year, and they're no different. The Washington kid is playing maybe as well offensively as any player in our conference at the wing spot. Nobody talks about how good he is. Hair trigger, great range, playing multiple positions for them. EJ Liddell is having a terrific season, playing kind of a small ball five for them, but is very effective. And then I am a huge Kyle Young fan, a guy that just plays with physicality and toughness. So, a great challenge, a top 20 team coming in, and we will have to play very well and expect a great challenge.
Hey, Brad, how long will it be until you can tell us this wonderful news that you can't talk about right now? What's the timing?
I don't know. Maybe never. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Still my joke, though. Still my fun. Still my fun. I can have at your expense, and I don't get to have a lot of fun very often. But Rob, I'm having a lot of fun knowing that you guys don't know shit right now.
Oh.
So that's good. That's good.
Well, it's good to see you in a good mood. Off to Marley.
You can tell somebody over 80, can't you? I won't tell anybody else, just between you and I.
Lauren,
Right,
Lauren, I absolutely would not tell you.
So Coach, I was wondering about your tweet earlier in the week where you said that you spoke to the IHSA. I know it's been a really crazy year for some of these high school athletes. So why did you, I guess, decide to just come out and support them on Twitter like that?
Well, we just had a conversation, and with the heads, and we're a host of the state basketball tournament now, and it was to be supportive. We understand that it's very trying times. It's a very tough situation for all. I know everybody's thinking about the safety and the state and the IHSA. Everybody's looking at the safety just like we have in the Big Ten and at the NCAA levels. But again, our livelihood is based upon the high school prospects, and I just wanted them to know that I was thinking about them, and what if we have a season, great. If we don't, it's obviously for health and safety reasons, but just wanted them to know that, and the coaches around the state to know, they don't get to come to our games. We've lost some communication lines with them, just in terms of the pandemic, and it was basically meant to just be a reach out and touch you, let you know we're thinking about you, and yet no, there's obviously some health and safety issues that are first and foremost.
And what would that mean for you guys if high school basketball isn't be played in Illinois, especially for, recruiting in Chicago, and all of that?
Well, it's not just Chicago. It's everywhere. I mean, there's great prospects in every sport, and it's an extracurricular activity. I understand that, but for some, it's just an opportunity and to be seen, and we'll have to figure out those other ways to evaluate those young people in any sport. So, I'm a bleeding heart in a lot of cases, and I do sympathize and empathize with them, and yet I understand the state situation as well. So, it's tough all the way around. The pandemic has been a challenge for everybody, and yet, as we're doing at the NCAA level, everything's about the health and safety, and I understand that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, as you reviewed the Maryland tape, was it an inability by your team to get the ball to Kofi? Was it something they did in the second half? And part two of that question, does Kofi have the ability to immediately kick the ball back out to three-point shooters? Is that something you're trying to expand his game on if he does see a double or triple team?
Yeah, and Kofi's very, very capable of that. And we got him. We actually got him pretty good touches, and he did have he kind of fumbled one out of bounds on a pass to Adam, and they'd kind of deflected one. But again, that's we're throwing it in there. Just because it doesn't reflect in his field goal attempts. A couple of those he got fouled on. And again, a couple of those were just sloppy, but that was more, again, we didn't shoot the ball very well. We didn't execute very well. We didn't run offense with any pace. And when we do those things, those opportunities to throw the ball to Kofi are more frequent, and they're a little less easy to double and triple as Maryland did.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, I'm writing about your manager, Bobby Geekus, and just wanted to know what he's meant to you both this year and beyond during his career here.
Bob, he is unbelievable, and we've been blessed in this program to have a lot of very good ones. But when you think about the fact that these young men and our group of managers are what they're going through in the pandemic, they're here every day, and we've gone from probably 18 to 20 of them down to a group of 5. Bobby leads that group. He's energetic. He's enthusiastic. He suits and fits my moniker of everyday guy. He is all of that. He's the juice on the bench a lot of times. He provides great energy. He's a basketball guy and understands the game. He's very active in practice and drills. So I can't put a value on how important they are, and especially in a year like this where we've asked so much of them to stay away from friends and not hang out and be as committed as our student athletes are to staying COVID free.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Brad, what has Trent been able to do the last week, and will he be available tomorrow?
He will be available, he practiced today, so that's a good thing. We obviously missed him for the majority of that game, But again, he's back.
And then I know, Brad, you probably expected, this year you're going to have some stoppages and all of that. How have your players dealt with it, and what are the challenges of that so far?
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges with it. You start diving in, and you end a game, and your preparation starts immediately as not just a coach, but as a player looking at that next game. And we found out, I guess, late Monday afternoon, we ended up having a Zoom with our team about 5:30 that night that game was off. And guys had been in watching film, guys had been in prepping, and so now your mental changes. Now you go to a day off. Now you go to a different opponent. So there are challenges with it, but that's okay. And we all understand that we're not the only team going through that. But again, Jeremy, we talk about it all the time. It's it's on to the next, and expect the unexpected.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, Coach, interesting situation, I guess, tomorrow with Andre being able to play against Zed Key, former high school teammates. How many situations like that have you seen at the college level, and what kind of goes into that from a player's perspective, do you think?
Well, I think they're really, really close friends. I think, they were obviously very, very successful together. I think it happens more than you think, especially in today's world where, some of these IMGs, prolific preps, Lou High probably had 5 or 6 minimum, Division I players, and sometimes scheduling it works out and they play against each other. But I got a feeling there'll be a little extra juice on both sides, but they were very, very close friends, and Zed's a terrific player and having a very good year, as is Bellows. So they'll be excited to play against each other, and I'm sure they're excited to see each other.
One quick follow-up, you mentioned the extra juice. Andre, to me at least, seems like a player who really feeds off energy. Is that something that you think you might have to control a little bit more with the extra aspect tomorrow?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that's one of the issues I have to have with him is to get him to, calm down a little bit. But no, that's we'll see. Bellows done this a lot. He's played a lot of basketball. He's played a lot of worldwide basketball and international basketball, and he's pretty under control for a young freshman.
And last one, how confident are you in your Chiefs on Sunday against the Browns?
Who do they play?
The Browns.
Who?
The Browns.
Who do they have the next round?
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see him in the next round. Ask me that next week.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Hey, Brad. After the Maryland game, Io comes to the podium and he sits down and he still answers questions thoughtfully and in a very mature way. What does that say about him as a person and as a leader of this team?
Yeah, mature, experienced, been through it, seen it. Has great control of his emotions, his thoughtfulness. I mean, and that's what professionals do.
And then kind of going back to Andre, it seemed like Maryland was going under his ball screens and trying to make him into a shooter. In what ways can he kind of play off of that and be a little bit better in the next game?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to go under him, good luck. We just, there's a lot of counters to that. You flip the screen, you rescreen it. We've got to do a better job of changing the angles of our screens. But Andre Curbelo with space is a real problem. And, you pick your poison in how you want to guard him, whether it's with pressure or whether it's going under. We've got to do a better job of re-angling our screens for him. But we've spent a couple days working on that as well.
Thanks, Brad.
Brad, maybe beyond a couple guys getting a little healthier, what were you able to accomplish with this sort of unexpected longer, gap in between games?
Well, I think anytime you're in the middle to end of January and you can get a day off of recovery, and it's not just the physical, it's the mental as much as anything. You enjoy those moments. But again, we're expecting a very compact and intense schedule, I guess, as we move down the stretch here, with rescheduling of games and obviously, we all went in this as Big Ten coaches with the idea that there were going to be cancellations. Games are going to be moved. Games are going to be slotted in where they haven't been slotted in previously. You could end up with 2 or 3 road games in a row or home games in a row. When you can get a day, you take advantage of that day. And we're all gearing up towards what will be, I think, a frantic finish in this league.
And then to maybe have a little time where you don't have to game prep and maybe could just have a basketball practice, was that maybe even a little more important after Sunday?
Yeah. I mean, we have to get back to identifying, who we are and what we were in the Maryland game. And then I'm not discrediting them in any stretch. That was not us. The lethargic, really unattentive, not very sharp mentally. We've been able to maybe play through some of those lapses, but boy, we were not. We've addressed those things, and then we've cleaned some things up that we didn't do very well.
Thank you.
Brad, Ohio State seems to get to the foul line at a pretty good clip. It's like 24 attempts per game. How are they able to do that so well, and how do you counter that?
Well, they're a very, very good team at driving the basketball. So they drive the basketball a lot. This is a team that plays to a lot of actions to reject screens. They're a team that is very, very effective on the offensive glass. I think they're number 1 in the Big Ten in offensive rebounding, which creates foul opportunities. You start doing that over the course of a 40-minute game, and it puts teams with the opportunity to get to the line. They're very similar to, Indiana in that way a little bit. I think Trace is number 1 in the country in free throw attempts, but they do a lot of those same things. And we've definitely got to guard with the intelligence to not foul.
When their 3-point shooting numbers are a little lower, at least, does that influence how you want to defend?
No. This is a team that's very capable of 3, and I think with Aaron's going 4 or 5 the other night, and like I said, I think Washington is one of the elite players in our league that nobody talks about. And you talk about a quick trigger, and a guy that if you leave him alone can make 6 or 7 real easy on you. And I think they're a team that has guys capable of making shots. So we got to play them heads up and be very solid in what we do.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, we've talked a lot with you about some of these lulls. Is it a matter of this team knows who they can be when they play at their peak, but maybe it's knowing how good they are that they relax a little bit?
If that's the answer, then we won't go very far in postseason. And we know what we're capable of being. And again, it's that consistency. It's leadership. It's all of those things. It's finishing a practice. No matter what sequence we're in, whether it could be out of bounds plays, it could be offense, defense. It's finishing practice with a mental focus. Not getting complacent if you've got a lead. Not getting frustrated if you're behind, whatever it is. We've got to continually to strive to be better, and those are the things we're talking about.
You talked about Zed already. He's come on for them here recently. He's their biggest guy, 6'8", 245. EJ, Kyle Young, with a team that doesn't have the same size as Kofi. How do you kind of expect them to defend him, and what do you guys got to do to attack that?
Well, they're elite. They're not good. They're elite at contesting at the rim. EJ is a very, very quick jumper, a very explosive jumper. They've got very good size ensuing. Towns, guys that come in and play, Zed. They do a great job of challenging at the rim with physical play without reaching. And, they just kind of jump and wall up. So I expect that. Their 2-point field goal percentage defense is very, very good. And they do it with a physicality. And, they're going to stick a knee right up Kofi's butt and just wedge him out. And they're going to try to do it with lower body strength. They'll do that with Georgie. They've had a lot of success with that, with maybe everybody except the Robbins kid at Minnesota.
Thanks.
Brad, I wanted to follow up on Bobby. We've seen the Juice sign and we've seen him dancing in the locker rooms after the game. He's really, really chatty during the game. How does that directly kind of shoot, a burst of life into your team? If, like, I think he mentioned the 14-0 run against Purdue, he held up the sign and, hopefully that thing got things going. How do you see that play out with him?
Yeah, in a year where there's no home court advantage, so to speak, because of the crowd, the enthusiasm, the energy, he's not afraid, and he excels at his role. He does what he can possibly do. There's nothing more that young man can possibly do to help our team win, and whether it's every day in practice and drills or it's during the game. He finds himself a way to be a factor in helping us win, and that's vital. And it gets everybody else going. Everybody loves Bobby.
Are you a fan of basically the beer league softball chants and the defense D up? Do you like those?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, we're not getting anything from cheerleaders, fans, bands. All we get is a steady hum of crowd noise. That I'm sure you guys love sitting up there in that section up there. I'm sure that makes your guys' heads ache as you go home at night. But I love it. I think it's a big part of it. I love energy on the bench. I think one of the dumbest rules of all time is kids have to sit down on the bench. That's games. It's a game. It's meant to be played and have fun.
Thanks, Brad.
I can't hear anybody.
I think we're good, Brad. Thanks.
I have one.
I mean, that's awesome. Jeez. I can't wait till I can tell you guys what I know, but just I'll leave you with that tidbit. Lauren, you'll love it.
You've got my phone number.
I deleted it. See y'all.
Thank you, Coach. We'll have you put on mute.
DB, I just had one quick follow-up.
Yep.
I just saw the NCAA is changing the seating of the tournament. They said they're doing it in an S curve instead of grouping the teams based on geographical location. So I guess there's going to be more of a true seating with that, where number 1 might be playing, I guess, number 68. I guess just if you saw that, what were your thoughts on that new seating there?
That is absolutely news to me. I haven't seen it yet. We've been in practice. Did that just come out today?
Muted myself. Yeah, I just saw it a couple minutes ago, so I think this is.
That's the first I've heard about it. I think we can expect a lot of different changes. I don't know. I read the article yesterday where there was the potential for coaches to be put on the selection committee. So nothing really surprises me. And again, I've been very pleased with what the NCAA's done and putting us all on one site. And so, I think it's it goes hand in hand with doing that, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, stay on, everyone. We'll have Bello here in a second.